Hi, I'm Sharon Todd. I'm one of the Whyalla City Councillors. I found working in my shop in the City Plaza at the time, I had lots of people asking questions about why this was happening or why that was happening, or making comments about council related things. And I decided quite late to run for the position, and it was purely because I tended to find myself going, I'm not sure, and as people walked away I'd think, I'd like to know that. I'd like to find out how things work, and I would like to be a voice. And I am a great believer in, if you want things to change, you have to be part of the change. Oh God, where does it start? I moved here when I was 15 years old, so 45 years ago, and driving into Whyalla down that dusty road past the steelworks, I was bawling and I cried for a month because I thought, what are people doing bringing me to this hellhole? But I really quickly fell in love with it. I fell in love with the relaxed atmosphere, the fact that you can be at the beach or in the bush within minutes, the fact that I had such a relaxed lifestyle, and the people around me had a really relaxed outlook on life and a really relaxed lifestyle. Generally speaking, the Whyalla population is really, really positive, and lots of really supportive people in the environment. So my whole family moved away, but I stayed here. And 45 years later, raised 4 kids, got 10 grandchildren, and wouldn't recommend any of them to move unless they absolutely had to for work or something. I just love the lifestyle. It has to be children. I've looked after children since my brother was born on my 11th birthday. I only wanted a handbag, but I got a brother, hey ho. And I've always had a passion for children and trying to bring out the best in them, trying to encourage them to be the best and see the best in everything. I've got, like I said, 10 grandchildren, but I've looked after literally hundreds of children through my family daycare years, and I love the idea of helping, whether it's helping someone to paint their bedroom or whether it's helping someone through a rough time or whatever. They're, helping people up. That's my passion, because everybody needs a hand sometimes, and I just like the thought of being able to help people up, to be able to lift people or support people when they need things. So yeah, my passion is being a good community member, I guess. The positive things that have happened, everybody talks about the runway at the airport and how it's a waste of money and all that sort of thing, but for me that was a huge positive, because it gives us the opportunity down the track to be able to get other airlines and possibly bigger aircraft to come to Whyalla. Also, it keeps the airway in a good condition for people who need to use it for medical reasons. So that's been a highlight. A couple of other highlights, I guess, have been the finally getting funding when you've waited for ages, or you've waited to come to a resolution about funding for a particular issue, finally feeling like you've just, you're like, yay, I got that win, or we got that win. So and meeting some really great people in the community who come to you because they know you're a councillor, and then also meeting some really great people on the council and in the council that I wouldn't have had the chance to meet otherwise. I guess my 2 big, I wish I was still going to be here in a few years, are the foreshore. I cannot wait to see the beginnings of the development on the foreshore and the continued development on the foreshore, and hopefully the hydrogen, everything around the hydrogen and attracting jobs to Whyalla and people to Whyalla. I'd love to be here to see that all actually come to fruition. Over the years I've been involved with one of the local soccer clubs for over 20 years. I've been involved with family daycare in the Department for Child Protection and assisting the children who were in their care for years and years and years. I've ran my own shop. I did a massage business. I've worked at TAFE as an early childhood lecturer. I've worked in pretty much every kindy in town bar one. So I just feel like people have seen me around and know me. My family life now is my main thing. I've got 4 4 adult children and an adult son living in Queensland, so 5, and then 10 grandchildren. And between all of the things that they're involved with, basketball, soccer, all the things that they're involved with, I kind of sit on the peripheral of all of that anyway. So I feel like I'm involved in lots of stuff, even though I might not appear to be involved a lot. And like I said, family is my everything. One of the things that I guess what I would like the community to know is when I don't run again, it's not because it hasn't been valuable, it's not because it hasn't been worthwhile, it's not because I don't feel like everybody who runs and is successful in becoming a counsellor brings something positive to the council. It's just because I purely won't be in the position to do it. Health-wise, I won't be able to do it again. But I guess another thing is I would really say to people, if they've got questions about how things work, ask the questions. Don't go by assumptions or the Facebook warriors who know everything about everything and actually have never done any research, because I feel like a lot of people are quite surprised when they find out the truth behind a story.